All right. Well, welcome everyone to our webinar today entitled We're Doing SEO, Now What? I'm Brandon from Local IQ, and I'm excited to walk you through today's session, which is going to be really great, especially for businesses who have started on their journey of implementing SEO as a part of their strategy. But even if you haven't started implementing SEO as a part of your strategy, I'm sure you'll still be able to take away some things from today's session. But before we dive in, let me give you a quick rundown of Local IQ. We help businesses all across the UK improve their online presence through smart digital marketing strategies, including specialties like SEO, paid search, paid social advertising. In fact, we are recognized as the SEO Agency of the Year by the UK Agency Awards. That is an achievement we're very, very proud of, which means you can rest assured in knowing that you are in good hands if you want your business to rank higher on search engines, attract more visitors, and ultimately drive more business for yourselves. Before we get started, I do want to action a quick poll so that way I know a little bit more about everyone that's on the call and where you are in your journey in terms of implementing uh, SEO. So I'm going to launch a poll right now. You should see it in the chat in the Q&A area. And if you could just take a second to respond to it, that would be great. The first question is, which of the following are currently part of your digital marketing strategy? So you can select all that apply from SEO to paid search, paid social, digital PR, and video marketing. And then what's your biggest challenge when it comes to these marketing areas? What do you feel like you need to know a little bit more about each one? You can just put your comments there in there, and then once you have your responses, just go ahead and submit it, and you should be able to see all the different responses that are coming through. So I'll give you a moment to find that. It should be in the chat area, just those three questions. That will be good to see some feedback on. And while you're doing that, I'll also put this on the slide. Today's webinar is the fourth and final installment of our SEO Masterclass series. So we're here now. Hopefully you have been able to watch and tune in for our other webinars that were part of the series. But even if you missed it or you want to go back and replay them, they are all available on demand on our website. So you can go and watch them at your leisure, replay them as you're going through them with your team to implement different things that we may have talked about into your strategy. In fact, today's session as well is going to be recorded and emailed to you within about 24 hours as well. So if you miss anything today, you can just catch it on the replay. And here is our agenda for today. We are going to talk about what is it or what's the benefit of implementing other tactics with your SEO. So once you're doing SEO, how does PPC benefit, paid social, digital PR, video marketing? We'll talk about the pros and cons of each of those tactics and strategies and how they align and support each other. And then we're also going to talk about some key metrics to track so that way you know whether or not your SEO is performing as best as it can be. And so even if you are just focused on SEO alone and not tying it to other strategies, still the fifth section of our webinar today, you'll find helpful because the metrics that we're going to track won't change no matter what the strategy we're going to implement as long as it involves SEO. Again, I'm Brandon Griffin, Interim Marketing Director for Local IQ, and I'll be your presenter for today. And as I mentioned, today's webinar is being recorded, and so you'll get today's replay in your inbox within about 24 hours. And I'm going to go by the content pretty quickly today, but if you have any questions, feel free to go into the chat, into that same area where you just introduced yourself, and feel free to let us know what your questions are as I'm moving through the content. I've got some colleagues in the background that are going to do their best to answer as many of your questions as we can. And if we have time at the end, I will do my best to try to answer some of those questions live as well. All right, so you should see the results of the poll that have now come through. Just very quickly, I'm seeing that just like 22% of the individuals on today's call have implemented SEO as a part of their strategy, 22% for digital PR, 22% for video marketing, and quite less for paid search and paid social. So that's good to know. Seems like there's a lot of room for growth in tying paid search and paid social with your SEO strategies. And it's good to see that we've got some people that are doing digital PR and video marketing as well. Which of the following do you feel like you need to learn more about? Most people on the call are saying SEO, 36%, followed by paid search, 25%, and then paid social, digital PR, and video marketing decreases from there. So good deal. I'm confident that you are all in the right place today, and you'll be able to take something away from today's session. And then the final question was an open-ended question: what your biggest challenge in these marketing areas? SEO is a big challenge. Reporting, placement, time, AI, just not being confident in what to do and how to do it is a big thing. So all great feedback points there that are going to be helpful for me in this particular webinar as we go through it, but also as we are planning for other sessions for you as well. So thank you for that. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our main first section today, which is talking about how your business can essentially own that search engine result page by making sure that you're showing up organically as well as in those paid elements and paid sections of the search engine result page. Now, again, I'll try to keep it very high level because we do have other webinars available if you feel like you need a more in-depth understanding of what SEO is and some specific tactics. But just for a frame of reference, let's talk about each of these independently first. So first, we'll talk about the pros and cons of SEO. And so the first pro for having an SEO strategy is that once you rank from SEO, organic traffic essentially is free, making SEO more cost effective than PPC in the long run. Now, the clicks that you receive from those organic clicks are free. Of course, the SEO, the resources that it takes, the strategies that you're going to implement will take an investment of time, resources, internal talent, external talent if you've got to bring in an agency to help you with. But in the long run, you aren't paying for every time a person clicks on your business in that search engine result page. So it can be more cost effective. Another pro of SEO is that users often trust organic results more than those paid ads, which can lead to a higher click-through that you might see in organic listings as opposed to those paid results. Unlike PPC, which stops delivering traffic the moment you turn off ad spend, SEO efforts can continue generating traffic and leads over time, and as long as you have the proper maintenance in place. And then the fourth and final pro and positive from having an SEO strategy is that SEO allows businesses to rank across various search result types. So that includes feature snippets, image results, video content, and even that local pack listings that shows businesses in a local area, which is going to increase your overall visibility for your business. Now, there are some perceived cons as well when it comes to SEO. One is that SEO does require patience because it can take months to gain traction and rank for some of those keywords that are really competitive, making it a long-term strategy and investment. Organic rankings are highly competitive, and large companies like Amazon, Wikipedia, and even major news outlets can often dominate those search results for those high-value keywords. So it is very competitive. Let's see. SEO is not a one-time task. So that's another perceived con sometimes. And search engine algorithms are changing frequently. I mean, it seems like every quarter Google, Bing are pushing out new updates. And so that requires your business to also update its strategy if you want to maintain rankings and continue to show up at the top of those listings. And then the last one that we'll feature here for SEO in terms of the pros and cons is that in order to stay competitive, your business is going to have to invest in high quality content creation and backlink strategies. And all of those things can be resource intensive. So although the clicks are free, it still takes an investment in order for your business to get there. So that's SEO by itself. When we look at, oh, now also here, I've got a resource so that once you receive the PowerPoint slides and the webinar recording on tomorrow in your inbox, you'll be able to click through some of these resources that I've featured here. And this one in particular is just a group of case studies that are available on our website so that you can see some of the SEO work that we've been able to do with some businesses around the country. So you'll have that. But now let's look at PPC by itself and let's look at some of the pros and cons associated with it. So some pros for PPC is that unlike SEO, which takes time to build, PPC can generate immediate visibility, which makes it ideal for new businesses or even time-sensitive promotions or sales that you want to introduce into the market. Another positive of PPC is that it's going to allow, or it has the capability to allow your business to target specific demographics, locations, times of day, and even user behaviors. So it can help make sure that your ads are getting seen by the right audience at the right time. When you're working with PPC, you typically have control over the budget because you can set daily spending limits, you can test different ad creatives, and you can even adjust your campaigns in real time based off of the performance that you're seeing. And then the final positive for PPC by itself in general is that PPC provides pretty clear, actionable data on keywords, ads, and even landing pages that are driving the most conversions, which is going to allow you to refine your digital marketing strategy. And of course, there are some things that you have to trade off sometimes when it comes to this type of campaign, and that is that, you know, as soon as you stop paying for PPC ads, traffic typically disappears because unlike SEO, which can continue to generate traffic even with minimal maintenance, PPC will stop as soon as your budget stops. And so to that point, it can be quite expensive. In general, the more competitors you have in your particular industry, the higher the cost per click your business will have to pay in order to show up. So you do have to try to manage your budget resources wisely. With that, in this space, sometimes more industries than others experience high levels of fraudulent clicks from bots or competitors, which can waste your ad spend or skew your data. So you want to be mindful of that. And then another thing is that really with all of this, the learning curve can be pretty steep and require significant expertise in like keyword bidding, audience segmentation, ad copy optimization. And so you have to take that into consideration, especially if you're trying to work with your internal team. But sometimes it's helpful to work with an external partner and agency. And here's another resource that you can click through that shows some really good examples of clients that we've worked with that have implemented a paid search, a PPC strategy. All right, but now let's talk about what happens when we put SEO with paid search or PPC and the types of benefits that you'll see. The first is that running SEO and PPC together is going to allow your business to really, like I mentioned before, dominate that search engine result page. It's going to increase the chances of you being able to capture that high intent traffic. And study shows that appearing in both the organic portion of a search engine result page and the paid results page, if you show up in both of those areas, you're going to see higher click-through rates and conversions through to your website. So it makes sense to try to take up more real estate on that page if you can. Also, PPC campaigns provide real good immediate insights into which keywords are high performing. And you can take that information to then inform your long-term SEO strategies. And then conversely, the same thing, the SEO keyword data that you're receiving from your reporting, you can use that information to refine your PPC strategy. So they both support each other. Another benefit of putting SEO and PPC together in your strategy would be that SEO can be really effective for local searches, so making sure you're coming up for people who are searching for your business in your like a radius of your business. But then also PPC can help you fill in the gaps to where people aren't searching for you organically because you can target which locations you're spending resource on. And then speaking of spending resource on, the fourth benefit is that businesses can typically shift those high cost PPC keywords to organic search once you start ranking for them well. And so you don't always have to keep paying per click. Once you have a really good strategy, you can shift some of those keywords that you're paying for into your SEO longer term strategies so that way you can begin to pay less and eventually stop paying for every time a person has to click on those ads to come to your website. And then the final benefit that you'll see as a business when you put SEO with PPC is that PPC typically allows businesses to retarget users who originally found your business through like organic search. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this a little bit later. So this will help your business stay top of mind and help guide prospects through that decision-making process with tailored ad messaging. So they may find your website organically, but then you can essentially follow them throughout the internet with your paid targeted retargeting ads. So those are just some key benefits of how you tie SEO and PPC together. And we have a lot of people that survey said where you'd like to figure out how to do more in the SEO and PPC area. So hopefully you found that helpful. And here are just very quickly 3 quick tips for if you want to, take the next step and begin to implement this strategy. So I would suggest first to identify where your PPC and your SEO overlap. But do know that all overlap is not bad because sometimes paid ads complement those organic results that are coming up. And so the key is to protect the top ranking organic keywords by excluding them from your PPC campaign. And so a quick way to do that is to just filter your search terms where your site ranks for like position 4 or higher, since most clicks typically go to like the top 3 results on the search engine result page. And then you want to sort by the click volume, and then that way you'll be able to find which keywords are most likely to be cannibalized. And then once you do that, you'll then want to compare that to the reports that you get from Google Ads, and then try to highlight where you're paying for clicks that you would have gotten organically for free anyway, and then allow that information to guide your strategy. I know that's a lot. I'm trying not to get too complicated and into the details, but if you want to know more about how to do that, again, just reach out to us at the end of the webinar, and we'll be able to give you a little bit more direction. Another thing you could do once you've identified where you're overpaying for traffic that you could have gotten for free organically, the next step is to add negative keywords to your list in Google Ads. And so if a keyword is already performing well in SEO, just add it as an exact match negative in your PPC campaign, and that'll stop your paid ads from showing up for searches that you would have already received anyway. So that's a nice quick tweak that you could do to just try to save on some of your ad spend. And then finally, the third and final pro tip that I'll give you for this SEO and PPC campaign strategy is just know that bidding on your own branded keywords, so like the name of your business, is typically often unnecessary, because if someone is searching for your brand, it's like they already intend to visit your site. So you may not even need to pay for those types of clicks. But here is where brand building does make sense. It's when your competitors are targeting your brand names in their PPC campaigns. And so in that case, running branded ads will help you recapture your audience at a lower cost than bidding on some of the competitor terms. And so that's the real thing. If you've ever Googled your own business name and then some of your competitors come up and they come up before you, oftentimes that's why. It's because they're bidding on your business name, and so sometimes you're going to have your own brand bidding strategy, so that way you can beat them in that results. But don't worry, because even when you bid on your own brand name, sometimes the cost will be much less than what it is that your competitor is paying for, and so you will still have some leverage to kind of show up ahead of them. Okay, so for our next section, we're going to talk about putting SEO with paid social. Now, this is important because, um, you know, um, there was a stat that I read recently, and it said that 52% of people under 24 years of age use social media as their primary search tool. Okay, so this younger audience they search differently than the other generations. Many of them go to Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook first before they go to Google and Bing. And so even if your SEO is strong, you may still be missing like a huge chunk of potential customers because you're not visible on social. So, and if you're not advertising on paid social, more than likely your competitors are, and they're taking your audience. And so, if you follow some of these steps that we're going to talk about, it'll help make sure that you protect your organic traffic from not just the search engines, but also from the social media channels that where your audience is as well. And I also like to think of it as this too. If you think about the top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel marketing scenarios, um, paid social would be in this top of funnel awareness. And then um, the middle of the funnel would be all of your SEO strategies and your retargeting strategies. And so they all work together, right? And so typically your SEO strategies are right here for this interest and consideration. But when you implement paid social into the mix, you're going to get more people coming into that funnel anyway. So you can't work with people who aren't in your funnel. So you got to have people, and paid social is a great way to do it. So let's look at some of the pros and cons of SEO and paid social. Um, the first is that SEO is going to help your business to capture people who are actively searching for your product and service. They already know that they need it. Whereas paid social is going to help introduce your brand and product to people before they even know that they need your product or service, right? And you're going to catch them in an area where they're just passing time by. And so that's a good way of use for paid social. SEO is going to uh, really help you with your long-term organic rankings, whereas paid social has some instant benefits like instant visibility through your targeted ads, much like PPC. We just talked about that a moment ago, how that can help give you some immediate results. We know that SEO may take a little bit of time to gain some traction. SEO It's very effective for those transactional searches because those people are looking, they know that they need something already. And so when they land on your page, they're more than likely going to convert and take a transaction. Whereas those individuals who are on paid social, it's more about just generating awareness of your business and getting them to um, look into your business a little bit more. And then last, for SEO, of course, we've already talked about that. It can be very competitive. It takes time to rank, but with SEO, it is a faster way to essentially reach new audiences. And so, really, to summarize all of this, I think of it this way. SEO is how you get in front of people who are already like searching, and paid social is how you get in front of people before they conduct that actual search. And so together, if you implement SEO and paid social, your business will have a like multi-touch point customer journey. Speaking of customer journeys, that takes me to this. Let's take a look at what a customer journey is like for your customers if you don't have an SEO strategy. And according to the survey at the top of this webinar, about 75% of you all don't have an SEO strategy or SEO as a part of your strategy. So here's what like an example customer is probably going through as relates to your business. The user might see an ad for a product similar to yours. In this example, we'll say like a leather purse or a leather jacket. They see it, maybe they're on Instagram. And so then they go over to Google later on in a day and they search for premium leather purses because they saw that ad a little bit earlier. And so then when they search for that ad, well, your business doesn't show up in the search results because you don't have that SEO strategy. And so then what happens? Then that user buys from a competitor that did show up. All right. So you miss out on that purchase because you didn't show up in the search results. But if you do have an SEO strategy, and hopefully this is where the other 22 to 25% of you are, who are on today's call, this is what the journey is like. A user will see an ad on Instagram, for example, on Facebook, maybe like for premium leather purses. That's the example we'll use for today. Then they go to Google and they'll search for, oh yeah, I do need that premium leather purse right now. And so they'll go and they'll search for that. And then guess what happens? Your SEO optimized website is going to show up in the results. And then further than that, they're actually going to click on your website because they recognize your brand name and then they convert. And so it's all about awareness, name recognition, familiarity, and that's what paid social brings to the table. Paid social is going to help create that initial interest, and then SEO is going to help make sure that that person sees your website and gets to your website so that they can, eventually convert. And so not showing up organically after running ads, I mean, you're going to lose traffic to your competitors. So hopefully that's a nice visual illustration that helps you see the benefit of putting paid social with your SEO strategy. But here are a few quick pro tips for implementing SEO with paid social. Number one, here you want to try to optimize those high intent pages. So those pages that people are going to land on, you want to make sure that they 100% talk about what it is that you're offering, what it is that got the person to click on that particular ad in the first place. Because if that landing page doesn't match up to what they were searching for, they're going to leave. Then with SEO, you also want to focus on creating long form content, especially for people who are early in the process. Remember, paid social is going to deliver a lot of people who are at the top of that funnel. So you want to make sure you have content that speaks to where they are in that buyer's journey. And then you want to find a way to incorporate those competitive keywords into your content so that way you can increase your rankings in that area. When it comes to paid social, some pro tips of things you can consider doing is number one, running a brand awareness ad on Facebook, on Instagram, and just focus on saying, hey, this is our company, this is what we do, this is who we are. Click here to find out more about who we are. You know, your ads don't always have to focus on selling a particular product at this particular time. So you want to have campaigns with very specific objectives and very focused messages. Then too, when you get started, one thing you can consider doing is retargeting those customers that are coming to your website by way of organic traffic, by way of your SEO. You want to then give them very specific product ads. Then it's the time for you to like promote the actual product because they've been to your website, they know who you are. So now you can talk to them a little bit more specifically about what it is that you think they may want to purchase from your business. And then just remember that, you know, once people come to your website and they show interest in your products or services, not everyone is going to complete the transaction. Sometimes people are going to abandon their shopping cart. They're going to abandon that lead generation form that you have on your website. And so you can use paid social to re-engage that particular audience and to get their attention. So these are some pro tips for putting SEO and paid social to work together for your business. Hopefully you'll find that helpful. Another area that we're going to talk about is digital PR, because SEO is not just about keywords, it's also about building authority for your business, because building authority definitely matters. And digital PR helps secure valuable backlinks and high authority sites, getting them to like link back to your website. So let's explore that and talk about how digital PR and SEO can work effectively for your business. Now, I won't go into this into much detail because we did just have a previous webinar focused 100% on digital PR. That's a part of our SEO Masterclass. So if you missed it, I do encourage you to watch it on demand. But what I will just quickly do is just reinforce why digital PR is important. For those of you who may not have been on it. And just a few quick things is that digital PR helps to secure high quality backlinks from those authoritative websites. And so when you have more people, more websites linking to your website, it's going to let Google and Bing and all those search engines know that your website is credible and that they should send people to your business for whatever that search result might be. So that's that referral traffic of that traffic coming from those publications that are talking about your business. It's all going to work together to increase your exposure and help you generate leads. What else? It builds your brand. It generates social proof because when these news publications and businesses link back to you and feature your business, you'll be able to say, our company was featured in the York Press. Our business was featured in the Telegraph, as seen in or as seen on. And that creates social proof that gives your customers confidence in wanting to do business with you. And then overall, a well-crafted digital PR campaign is just going to make your brand more visible across search engines, social media, news platforms, all of the above. And so just some quick pro tips. One thing that I found in a recent SEMrush study is that most websites and businesses that show up in those top 10 positions on a search engine result page, they typically have a domain authority score of like an average of 67 on a scale of 100. So I'm going to put in the chat a little bit later a link to our SEO audit tool on our website. And if you go to it and you put in your website address, it'll give you a report of your whole SEO presence for your business. And one of the metrics it'll let you know is what your current domain authority score is and how people are linking back to your website. And so that's a really helpful tool to use. And that's really important because domain authority really does improve how high up in those search results your business comes up. And so the best way to increase your domain authority is just to get like those authoritative websites linking back to your business. And it is definitely a case of quality versus quantity. So, you don't just want 1,000 businesses or 1,000 other websites linking to your business. What you want are fewer high quality websites and businesses pointing to your website and saying, this is where you go if you need premium leather purses or if you need a quality estate agent. Whatever your business is, that's what matters. And so this was just an illustration to show the higher domain authority a business or a website has, the higher in the rankings on the search engine result page it shows. And then very quickly, some pro tips here is you want to start with, because it's all about trying to show up in certain news publications, both online and in print. So you want to try to target niche industries before pitching to like major media outlets. Get some small wins where you can. You want to focus on creating valuable content so that makes people want to link back to your business website in general. And then I'll just put these up quickly. You want to just make sure you're getting those backlinks from those quality websites. And that's where that quality versus quantity conversation really does matter. Here is a resource that you'll be able to click through once you get the recording and the PowerPoint slides from today. We have put together a calendar of dates, themes for the month, and your content team can use this calendar to come up with content that will be of interest to the broad market, as well as to different news publications as well. So you can take a more proactive approach in trying to create content that will get your business picked up in the media in terms of news. So that's a little bit here. Again, if you want to know more about digital PR, I encourage you to watch the digital PR webinar that we did just a few weeks ago that's available on demand. And then last but not least, the final tactic that we're going to talk about today is how your business can connect video and make that a part of your SEO strategy. And just a few quick pointers here in terms of why it works and why it makes a difference. And you have a few things. One is going to increase user engagement because when people come to your website, if you incorporate video onto your website, it's going to increase the amount of time that they're spending on your page. That's called dwell time. And Google, as well as Bing, they took a look at how long people are on your website for. And if you have people coming to your website staying for quite a while, it's going to send a very positive signal to Google and Bing to let them know that your business says what it says it's going to do and that people are finding the information helpful. When you incorporate videos onto your website, people are going to stay longer. They aren't going to leave your website or bounce immediately. And so that's going to help decrease your bounce rates, which again is a metric that search engines look at. Rich media content really does enhance the overall quality of your content in general. And when people are watching your videos, they're actually going to gain a even more deeper understanding of your business, of the topics you're talking about more succinctly and more effectively. I mean, let's face it, we all, in many cases, would rather watch a video than to read a lot of content. So if you can provide that information in a digestible way, then that's great. And then finally, Google likes websites and landing pages that have a mix of content from text, video to pictures. And so when it can see that you have video incorporated onto your landing page, again, it's going to send a very good signal to Google to encourage the system and the algorithm to show your website and your business. And then very quickly, if you want to know more about incorporating video or how to create video on a budget or with a professional team, we've got a webinar that talks more about that. That's available on demand that you can click through to. And then just very quickly, some quick tips here. Is that when you do incorporate video onto your website, you want to use something called schema markup, and that will help Google know what your video is about, because Google can't read videos, so, or watch videos. It can only read the data that you have behind it. And so schema markup is a technical way to do that. Again, you'll find out more information about that in our webinar. And then when you put it to your website, you just want to make sure you place it in a prominent position, the top of the page, so that everyone can see it, click it. You want to make sure that you incorporate some context around the video so people know what it's about, but still try to keep your text to a minimum when you're incorporating the video onto a landing page so that people will actually want to watch it. And then the last section for today's webinar that I want to cover is just some key metrics to cover. So these are key metrics that your business should be following to track the effectiveness of your SEO strategies. And very quickly, I'll just go through this. You want to be concerned with the organic traffic that's coming through. You want to be concerned with if people are staying on the page or if they're leaving. If they're on your page and your website, you want to track the number of people who are actually submitting forms on your website, whether it's a contact us form, whether it's a buy now process, and try to track it back to the revenue that's being generated. You also want to pay attention to how your keywords are performing across your content, across the search platforms. We've got quite a few things that can help you there if you reach out to our team. And then things like how many websites are linking back to your business is important, as well as things like user interaction and page speed, and how fast your website is loading. So I've got here a list of a couple of resources that can be very helpful. So at Local IQ, we have a client center tool that brings a lot of the data from all the different digital marketing channels that you're working with into one platform. So I know you probably sometimes, when you are advertising on Facebook, when you're advertising with search engines, you have all these different channels that you're going to try to see, well, how much traffic are we getting? What type of clicks are coming through? And it can be much to go through all these different channels at one time or to prepare for meetings. And so when you have the Local IQ Client Center at deck, you can see all that data in one place at one time. Other tools that you can consider using include like Google Analytics 4, GA4, Google Search Console. All those tools are free and will help your business understand which keywords are generating the most results for your business. And if you're really advanced as an enterprise, you can use things like Adobe Analytics, which will allow your business to incorporate things like AI modeling into your reporting and give you some really good insights. You even have things like CallRail, but even the Local IQ technology that we have will allow you to track phone calls and listen into the phone calls that are coming into your business. So that way you know whether or not your campaigns are successful. All right, so that is it. Let's go ahead and do a very quick recap. I appreciate all the questions that have come through and that have been answered in the background by my colleagues. But here's a quick recap of everything we've covered today. So if you've started doing SEO, if SEO is already a part of your business strategy, great. And here are some tips for incorporating some other tactics as well. So when it comes to PPC, you want to use PPC for some immediate traffic, while SEO is helping to build your business's long-term rankings. You want to try to use social ads to generate brand awareness, increase that organic search demand when you incorporate paid social with SEO. And then when you tie video marketing, when you tie digital PR to your SEO strategy, that's going to help you earned some high authority backlinks through media placements. So that's really important. And then we also talked about video and how that can help your strategy. When you embed videos into your landing pages, into your website, you're going to increase that engagement, increase that dwell time, and overall rankings in the search engines. And then, one of the biggest questions that people always have is, well, how do I know if my SEO is working? And here are like 5 metrics that you want to make sure you drill down into, things like your organic traffic, your click-through rates, your bounce rate, your dwell time, and even your backlink profile. All those things are the numbers that you want to look at to know whether or not your SEO is performing positively or negatively. I've just put into the chat a link to our free SEO audit tool on our website. And so if you want to know where your website and your business falls right now as it stands in any of these SEO areas, just go ahead and go to that website, put in your website address, and then within minutes, you will have a report to give you a little bit more insight there. And then I'm going to just give you a quick reminder that this is just one session of our entire SEO Masterclass series. And so I know I went fast in today's content, but if there's anything that you feel like you need to rewatch or you want to drill deeper into any topics, feel free to go into our website, click through to this, the webinar section, and you'll be able to see more webinars that cover whichever topic you feel like you need to learn more about. And then also, I just put up on the chat as well a quick poll. If you can let us know and rate today's webinar, the content and our pace and our technology, it's always helpful to see and get the feedback live from everyone that we have on the call today. And if we didn't have an opportunity to answer all of your questions, or you have more nuances to your business, to your industry, to your strategy, where talking to a local IQ digital marketing strategy expert can be helpful, you can let us know in that poll as well, and we'll make sure that the appropriate individuals get in touch with you as well. So I think that's about it. We've covered a lot in the last 45 minutes or so. And so I really do hope that you found it helpful. Let us know in the poll how helpful you found it to be. And we hope to see you on a future Local IQ webinar. So again, thank you for taking the time today. Hope to see you soon.